Welton Rayon has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayon, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayon can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayon can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. If you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
points, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
A little bit, man, but, some guys don't come into great situations, so I feel like, once he got a coach who truly believed in who he is as a person, who he is as a player, like, this organization got around him, like, look at the talent now he got around him. So, man, like, a lot of people can begin to grab their chairs. Like, we got enough room at the table, man. So, media people, I'm saying this to y'all. Y'all can apologize now.
It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJDconstruction.com is a fully insured liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
Oh, baby, we are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. I hope you're feeling well. I'm feeling good. Yes, sir. Getting ready to crush a little brownies action today. I love it. I love it. I love it. We got, of course, Sean Stanley by my side, ready to get it done. We will have Chris Perkins for you at 11:30. Lee Sterling will join us at 12:15. So we'll get his thoughts on the game and his picks. We'll talk to Perkins. I'm interested in talking to Perkins because Perkins was not much of a believer of Tua early on. So I haven't had Perkins on since. And I kind of did it on purpose because I love Perk. I would call him to get him on earlier, but I wanted to give Tua some time to play for him to cover it. And I want to see how he is now about Tua. So, and I love the opening cut that Sean Stanley used in this pregame show as we get you ready for the Dolphins and the Browns, and talking about how the Tua situation was one that was what we talked about for 2 years. That was unbearable. It wasn't anything that was going to support him in order for him to be successful. Like any employee or any human being, they kind of need some kind of support in order, to be successful. And they weren't getting that. He wasn't getting that. So I thought that was cool to see. Not enough people can say those kind of things, but Tyreek carries enough weight that he can say that kind of stuff. The guy that's, the 30th guy on the roster or the 40th guy or the 50th guy on the roster, he's not going to say that kind of stuff. But a guy like Tyreek, who, to his credit, and the haters and the disbelievers of Tua, they went after Tyreek like, oh, wow, he's just talking up his guy and this and that. And Tyreek believed in his guy, and his guy has paid off. And so he's right. There's quite a few people out there that have to have that need to dish out some apologies. And remember, I don't mind the guy or the woman that said, I'm not sure yet. I need to see. I can understand that. That's not criticism. But the as I say on my weekly show, the absolutes, the idiots that came out and said, oh, he's too short. He's got a noodle arm. He can't throw deep. He doesn't work hard enough. He can't take tough coaching. He plays too much golf. Those are the people. Those are the people that I like to go after, that I like to make fun of. So nice job by Tyreek taking a little stab at Flo there, who created an absolutely shit atmosphere for his quarterback. So a quarterback, by the way, that even when missing 3 games, think about the progress that Tua has made. Okay? Tua has gone from people saying all those things I talked about to now, and also missing 3 games. And now people are starting to put him in that MVP conversation. Do you know what an extreme that is? And Omar Kelly this week had an interesting point that he said it's going to be even harder for Tua to win the MVP, even if he has the numbers, because so many people were so dead ass wrong about him, the absolutes. You know, somebody that said, hey, I need to see more, that's not somebody telling you they can't play. They just are not convinced yet. And that's fine. That's legitimate for any player in the history of time. But those people that went with the absolutes, they went from you can't play to now you're the MVP. That's a tough extreme for them. That's a really tough extreme for them. Omar had a good point on that. And we'll see. We'll see. And we'll see if the season continues the way it goes. We got a lot of things to talk about today about this matchup and breaking it down. It's a good thing we can actually break this matchup down a little bit and talk about it. Leon Fresco, thank you for the love on the super chat this morning already. Must-win game for the Browns and post-bye week. Phinz will need to weather a big initial storm. Browns pass D is good. Needs to run the ball for 100 to win. Number 3, Skylar probably passed Teddy for good. Well, it was some kind of a knee injury, so I don't think he passed him for good. That'll be next year when he takes over. If they didn't trade Teddy, he's not passing him. So Teddy is so that was one thing that I disagree with you on that. And then the second thing that I disagree with you on it is the pass. The Browns are 9th versus the pass in the NFL, right? And it looks like a good stat. But their DBs have only had 3 interceptions all year. And one of them is their safety, Grant Delpit. The other one Denzel Ward had. And so really it's not like Martin and Newsome and Ward are absolutely shutting people down. They're pretty good. But, it's one of those where they have allowed plays of over 40 yards. They've allowed 3 of them. Miami's allowed 8. So they will give up some plays. And they will give up opportunities. So they're not great, but they're pretty good. But they're not this group that you fear, and they're ball hawks and all that stuff. You'll have your chance. Okay. You're not going up against this incredible secondary or anything like that. It's decent, but it's not going to necessarily shut you down or anything. In fact, I don't worry about that, Leon. I don't think there are 2 corners in the NFL that can shut down Tyreek and Waddle. I mean, think about this. Let me follow up on this, Leon. Last year, you knew it was going to Waddle. Did they ever stop it? No. Kid caught 100 balls. Now, I know there was short yardage stuff, but that's the only offense they could run last year. Remember the absolute idiots? Oh, why'd they draft Waddle? He's a possession guy. He can't get downfield. Remember that? So you think about it, they'll be able to make their plays. They'll be able to make their plays. They'll be fine. It's hard to stop those 2 receivers, man. It just is. And when I went to training camp this year to watch Tyreek Hill, that's a sight to see live. Just is. And those of you that get to go to a game and you get to watch it, you get to kind of see it in person. And for those of you that are going to be at the stadium today, just watch Tyreek for like a series. Just watch him run. And you're going to see that they're terrified of him. They give him space. They don't know when he's going to cut. It makes them nervous. I don't think there's a corner that can really stay with that guy. You're going to need like Deion Sanders. And last time I checked, he's a little older now, missing a toe or 2, I think, unfortunately, right? Sad. Man had to have like a toe or 2 cut off. I forgot what it was that he had. And so Deion is no longer Deion, unfortunately. He's Coach Sanders now. But you're going to need a corner, 2 of those. And there isn't one in the league right now. Yeah, and not going to happen, bro. Not going to happen. Big O weekend, yak our way to Arizona. Hell yeah, Willie. Hell yeah, they can yak it to Arizona. And they better yak it to Arizona, Willie, because we already got a house in Arizona. We got a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house in Phoenix, Arizona for the week of the Super Bowl. Every time I tell somebody that, they're like, you're crazy. And yeah, exactly. But crazier would be for me to wait till December that they really are going to the Super Bowl, and then I try to go get that, that Airbnb. Then the price is going to be absolutely crazy. But that's why I had to get it ahead of time. But then again, we've always had more faith than everybody else in Tua and the team this year. So it is what it is. But we will see. Bye week next week. You got to get it done today. The Dolphins are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 49.5. Browns are plus 155. Dolphins, by the way, minus 180 on the money line. Remember, you can get in on the Welt and Rayon text line. We got the chat board here, obviously, and I'll answer some of your questions. Can't answer them all, of course, because there's a crap ton that will come in. But you can also reach out on the Welton Rayon text line, which is a lot easier. And Welton Rayon, by the way, a great law office here in South Florida. We experienced it personally when we had some kids run through our wall. Not run, but they drove a car. They thought they were fast and furious and destroyed the wall of our house, and actually damaged some of the wall of the home too. And so we had Progressive giving us like a disgusting and disrespectful offer. And Welton Rayon brought them to their knees, bro. Jeff and Dan crushed their ass. Okay. I think they even got somebody fired on their side. That's how much they embarrassed those fools. So if you need a law firm that's actually going to bring these, and they've been doing this for 20 years, they crush insurance companies all the time. So if you have any damage in your home, before you even call the insurance companies, you call Welton Rayon. They have their own adjusters. So they know exactly what the damage is. They have professionals that do this for a living because they handle all these kind of cases. So we deal with water damage all the time, storm damage, whatever it is. Before you call any insurance company, you call Welton Rayon at 954-966-4646. And folks, they handle bankruptcy. So if you're a part of the FTX thing, homeowners, property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Check it out. Call Jeff and Dan at Welt and Rayon, 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayon. And remember, if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayon text line, that's 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 as the wife gives me the magic elixir that I need for broadcasting. Yes, sir. That lemon, that lime and honey, baby. Edward Thurston Howe chimes in and says, can't wait to see Agba, Van Ginkel, and Chubb chase down Biscuit. Yeah. Yeah, he's no Tua. Yeah. How about that? The newest thing now, Ray Grullo. I think this was Ray. I'm terrible with names. I really am. I'm absolutely brutal with names. And you guys give me gifts, and I was just talking with Sean about this before the show, and I almost have got to start writing, putting like a sticker under to kind of remember who gave me these gifts and everything. Last night we were over at Walk-Ons like we always are, and what's it called? Jeremy Westbay, I believe. Westbay? Did I remember? Is it Westbay? Jeremy Westbay brought me a rookie card of Tua Tagovailoa. And so it's kind of been the thing now, right? So Ray gave Sean an Andre the Giant card and brought me a Tua second-year card. This is a second-year card. And then Jeremy brought me the rookie card. And apparently this is the top rookie card of Tua Tagovailoa. I bought my own rookie card, but Jeremy was informing me that even the company that I had for my Tua rookie card was kind of like a mediocre company to here it is, to do the grading. Apparently PGI is kind of weak sauce, right? And so this is a rookie card too. And this is a Panini, right? And it's a 10 supposedly, but again, that company supposedly is weak. And so Jeremy told me PSA is the shit. He knows his stuff. I don't know anything. So he was kind enough to come to walk-ons and give me this Tua rookie card. So that's it. It's a thing now. Now I've got to collect the rookie cards now from Tua. So that's just like now we've started something here. You know, maybe I got to put it back. We need a new stage set. We need a new studio. We got to redo this whole thing. It's got to be wider, more things on it. Yeah, we got to do that. But Jeremy, thank you. Ray, thank you. So my Tua card collection is growing, and you guys are too kind. Thank you so much, man. Always whoever tells you there aren't good people in this world, I know there's a lot of good people in this world. We just shine the light on too many of the bad ones. That's the problem. But there's a lot of good people in this world. There's no doubt about that. Chris says, Big O, I definitely sympathize with you. I'm terrible with names to the point where it's embarrassing. I live in a small town, so I see people I know all the time and rarely come up with a name. My problem, Chris, is I need to see you, a few times before the name and the face. I'll remember the face. I'm really good at remembering faces. Like eventually, if I've seen your face a few times or dealt with you, I probably won't forget your face. But the name, oh God, I'm terrible. Oh God, I'm terrible. So Joe Shad can give you no, I don't want Joe Shad giving me any fucking ratings, bro. No, he's going to ruin my cards. Okay? No. I don't trust Joe with his ratings. Okay? He's just way too rough with his ratings. There's no way I'm allowing Joe in any kind of ratings. Don't allow Joe to go to your kids' play. Don't allow Joe to go to your kids' a talent contest. Don't allow Joe to go to your cooking contest or whatever it is. Anything that has to be judged, keep Joe Shad away from it. And if it has to do with a family member, what are you going to do? He's going to just embarrass your family member right there, and you're just going to be depressed. You're like, wow, why did I bring this guy along? So do not allow Joe to rate anything personal. So he's not touching my Tua cards. That's all I'm saying. He's a rough grader. Big O, what's the rap today versus the Browns? Are you talking about like a Roger Morant rap and a solo D? Or is that what you're talking about? We will have that for you at the top of the hour. We will have Roger's latest rap and, of course, Solo D's latest rap. We will have both of them there. No excuse for giving up 100 yards rushing to a QB this week. Focus on Nick Chubb and dare Brissett to beat us from the pocket. Well, listen, talking a little football here. I think that's what we're supposed to do. This game is clearly about stopping Nick Chubb. There is no other way around it. Now, listen, the Browns are 5th in yards in the NFL in rushing at 1,317. To comparison, Miami's 27th at 782. Okay? The Browns are 8th in yards per rush at 5 yards per carry in the NFL. Miami is 28th at 3.9. The Browns are 2nd in the NFL in touchdowns scored on the ground, 15. Miami is 25th with 6. So clearly, rushing is what it's all about for them, okay? On first down, the Browns are number 1 in the NFL in rushing. They rush 29.7% of the time on first down. All right? So you're going to see a lot of Chubb early, a lot of Chubb often, and they need to get that going. By the way, Miami is 26th at 21.8% rushing on first down. So it's quite, you can see the comparisons of how good the Browns are rushing and obviously how poor and mediocre the Dolphins are. In rushes of 20 plus yards, the Browns are number one in the NFL. They've done this 13 times this year. So they're popping practically to a game of 20 plus yards. Miami, by the way, is 22nd in the NFL. They've done it only 5 times compared to their 13. So it's all about Nick Chubb. Chubb is right behind Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has 870 yards rushing. Nick Chubb has 841. Derrick Henry has 9 touchdowns. Nick Chubb has 10. Chubb is averaging 5.6 yards per carry. He only has 10 receptions on the season, so he catches maybe 1 reception per game, just a little over 1 reception per game. So he's not going to kill you through the air. They don't use him as a receiver nearly as much. Now, Miami is, I believe, 6th overall in rushing against the run. They were number 5 last week, but some quarterback put up a couple yards there and knocked them down. So they've allowed 782 yards on the ground, 3.9 yards per carry. Browns, by the way, versus the rush are 28th. I don't know if they could get Mostert and Wilson going today. That would be kind of fun if they're able to do that. But the Browns are 28th stopping the rush. Okay? So they're not very good stopping the run. But Miami has to stop the run and force Jabroni to beat you. And the thing about Jabroni is, you look at the stats. And right now, it looks like 63.9% completion percentage is decent for him, right? The elite get to 65 and up, right? That's usually what it is. To be almost at 64 for Jabroni is actually pretty good. Now, he's 163 of 255 for 1,862 yards, which isn't bad. He's going to throw for over 3,000 yards if it's not for the alleged rapist that it's about to take over. He does have 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So he does not light it up. Put it this way, Tua has played in 6 games and has 15 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, where Jabroni has more interceptions than Tua. See what I'm saying? So 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, not a potent passing game. But you've got to make sure you keep it that way. So this secondary's got to find a way to make some plays. But Chubb is the key. Of course, everybody knows it. You've got to stop Nick Chubb. That's the only way they keep this game interesting. That's how Miami, I think, wins either way. I don't think they give this game away. I don't believe that at all. But I believe that if Cleveland can muscle their way through this game and keep the run game alive, it'll be a tight game all the way through. And Miami will win, edge them by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. If Miami is able to stop the run, then I think they can get to that 7, 10, 12-point type of win. But they've got to do it. And listen, they've been really good against running backs. It's really about the running quarterback that's given them some trouble. Not really the running backs overall. We shall see. But that's really, what it's all about. True Finn fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, do not allow Joe to rate anything personal. Yes, I'm telling you. You gotta keep Joe away from everything rating personal, because it's going to be depressing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be depressed. So what we got here? Let me see. There we go. Get Alarmo in the picture a little bit more there. Let's see. Dolphin Fett says, I'm sure Brissett told the Browns defense what Tua likes to do and what his favorite drink is before bedtime is. Why wouldn't he? Anything to get a win, but they're going to get blown out. I don't. Dolphin Fett, none of that matters. He wasn't in this offense last year. He doesn't know anything about Tua. He was around the wrong Tua. He was around the Tua that was, even though the Tua that was here the last 2 years won more than he lost, threw more touchdowns than interceptions, still did better than Justin Herbert with less, but it's not this Tua. It's not this offense. He can't tell them anything because it's completely different what's going on here. The weapons are different. The offense is different. And clearly, Tua's a much better player than he was last year because he's actually with a real coach. It's really hard to succeed when you've got a dumbass running the show. And that's, I mean, let's just get to it, right? Flo is a dumbass, right? I mean, the offensive just ineptitude was disgraceful on his part. So yeah, Flo was, give me a break. So now you've got a real coach, and wow, what a shocker. Big O, I couldn't help myself. I had to start drinking for the game Pacific time. Okay. But I hope it's happy drinking. See, the difference that's changed for all of us is, Dolphin fans used to drink because they were depressed all the time, dealing with Wanstead and dealing with Cam Cameron and dealing with the man that invented social distancing, Adam Gase. I mean, Adam Gase, you got to give it to him. He was way ahead of his time. He knew we were headed for a pandemic, and he showed everybody what social distancing was all about. He would be on the sidelines. There'd be nobody next to him. He'd be on a bench all by himself, nobody next to him. I give, while he couldn't coach through a paper sack, I got to give Adam Gase a lot of credit because he kind of showed us what was coming. And hey, guys, this is what social distancing is all about. So this would depress you, right? Nick Saban depressed you. Jimmy Johnson told you were going to be special. Depressing. There was a lot of depressing things. Pat White, depressing. John Beck, depressing. It's a lot of bad things that have gone on over the years. Passing up on Drew Brees, depressing. But that would lead you to that kind of drinking. Now it's fun drinking. Now you're enjoying yourselves. Now you're watching Tua throw touchdowns, Tyreek Hill putting up serious numbers, Waddle crushing it, and you're like, cheers. It's not like, you're not drowning your sorrows. You're celebrating your football life. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a fun drinking is what's going on. Big O, I tell you, I fell out of the chair when Joe gave Tua an A in one of the game's grades. Yeah, no, I was shocked. I took pictures. I framed it. I'm going to make an NFT out of that whole thing that Joe giving an A because I think that's going to be it's going to go up in value. Yeah, Joe doesn't give anybody an A. Yeah. I don't think he gives his kids an A. So for him to just give an A to somebody, that's just absolutely amazing. I'm super impressed. Put some charanga Cuban music and watch Tua dance. Big O, are the reports about them going back to the old logo for the next, dude, there are no reports. That was a fake account that you fell for because Elon Musk is now giving out blue things to everybody. And so now you got to look at every account for sure because the blue check mark doesn't mean anything anymore. All it is some extras that you can do on the website. There is no justification to have a blue check mark. What they should do is that people that actually are doing news and politics and actors and, all that kind, give them a colored, we already had one, right? Those of us like myself, we should get a different color check mark. And then you want to sell all those extras, give them the blue check mark, and that's fine. Or a red or a purple or whatever. But this is becoming ridiculous because now he wants people to put parity in front and all that. And it just causes problems, man. You can be like the health organization and say that there's a disease, and then you're running a panic for nothing. And that's what's been going on Twitter. It was a terrible idea on his part. He should have made it a completely, I'm not trying to be snobbish, but it's stupid to have some guy named Ian Rappaport and then he's reporting something and you're, and like Dolphin fan. You know how many Dolphin fans send me that thing? And it was like, I would send it back to him, dude, it's a fake account. And they don't realize it because you just take the blue check mark, because the blue check mark actually used to mean something. Now it doesn't mean jack shit. Inactives, dumbest thing in the world. What do we got here? Myles Gaskin, Teddy Bridgewater as expected, Noah Igbenogany, Eric Ezukama, Hunter Long, and River Craycraft. There you go. Those are your inactives. All right, let's get to it. We promised you Chris Perkins. The Perk Man is ready from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Let's bring him aboard. Perk Man, how you doing?
Big O, man. It's been a minute. I've commandeered this office, so hopefully I don't get kicked out, man. But I think we're good.
Did you put a sign outside doing an interview with the Big O show, and then that's it? They'll be
I should have
in the other direction.
That's my bad, Big O. I'm slipping.
Everybody in the Dolphin organization. Are you in the Dolphin building right now?
Yeah, I'm in the press box.
Oh, yeah. If you do that, then this. Oh no, stay away. We don't want anything to do with that show.
Hey, people say that about me, Big O. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. All right, so I've been waiting for a little while to bring you on because I would have brought you on earlier. I would have asked you.
Right.
But I did it on purpose.
Yep.
Because, as you know, I'm president of Tuanon. Right. I mean, that's clear, right? Yep. I mean, I've never wavered on Tua, okay? Yep. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
Okay? But I remember right when you took over and your first video with Hyde and Furones, you were like Mr. Negative. You weren't believing. You weren't on the Tua bandwagon.
Correct.
So I said, I took notes, okay? Not like our friend in Wales that took all the names down.
That's the list, right, and the dates and everything.
That guy was awesome. Anyway, so I said, you know what? Let me give Perk some time to see Tua and see what he thinks after. So now that you've had some time to kind of based in the beauty of this offense and Tua now, where are you with Tua Tagovailoa now as a franchise quarterback?
I think Tua is the guy for the Dolphins. And my two complaints on Tua were decision-making and the deep ball. Because you remember on that same video, I did say that he was going to have a better season than Mac Jones. And, whether you think Mac Jones should have made the Pro Bowl last year, I'm not a big Mac Jones guy. Right. I was never a big Mac Jones guy. But Tua has proved me wrong. So let's get that out. And I've said that before, but Tua has proved me wrong. So I have no problem saying that. And I'm glad that he did. It was never personal with me on Tua because I didn't know Tua. I said that, I was giving him a clean slate from the stuff that I had seen the previous two seasons because it wasn't a good offense. He didn't have the support of the coach. He didn't have support of the front office since they went for Deshaun Watson and Tom Brady.
Well, Perk, here's the way I see it. I believe the front office never went for Watson, went for
Steve
Brady.
Ross.
It was Steve Ross and Beal going for Brady, and it was Flo going for Watson. I don't believe the three guys, and when I say the three guys, I mean Greer, Allen, and McKenzie. I believe they drafted that kid to then build everything around him and move forward. But unfortunately, last time I checked, he's black. So, they never get so you hire the guy and then you start cock blocking him all the time. And, that's if you just leave those guys alone, because I've said this over and over again for the last few years, the Dolphins will prove to have one of the 5 best front offices in the NFL. And why, Perk? Because Greer deserves to be a GM, but so does Marvin Allen and so does Reggie McKenzie. In fact, Reggie McKenzie had no effing business being fired in Oakland. None.
Yeah.
Nada.
Yeah.
He did a marvelous job there. He found a franchise quarterback and Khalil Mack, who was a franchise defensive player, and he didn't have a first-round pick his first year and a second-round pick his second year because they had traded it for Carson Palmer in the prior regime. So that mother effer didn't have a first and a second round his first 2 years, and he still went and found Derek Carr and Khalil Mack and everything else that he did. And they made it to the playoffs. They had one down year, and then they fired everybody, which, again, black. So, these are the things that happen in this league. And I can tell you this because you understand what the hell I'm talking about. And so for me, I think these guys believed in Tua from the get-go. It's just that they had the other idiots in the way. And I got to tell you something, and I've said this. I don't have exact proof on this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe Chris Greer's hire was anything to do with Stephen Ross. I believe it had to do everything with Tom Garfinkel. Nobody will ever tell you that, but I think that's, to me, what went on. Oh, because Stephen Ross basically wasn't as involved as he was with Gase and Philbin. This wasn't as much. I think this was more of a Garfinkel hire. It's just me.
Yeah, that's possible, but I'll say this, that I like the way that this team is being built because I think it's different than previous Dolphins teams that kind of thought, what I didn't like about the previous, the Ryan Tannehill years was you had 2 coaches who thought they could turn Ryan Tannehill into Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers. And that's not the way that it should have been. And I kept saying, get this man a running game, get this man a running game. And now you see him in Tennessee. And because Ryan Tannehill needed help, he's a NFL starter, but he can't do it all by himself.
Yeah, he's a game manager. He's a game manager.
Yeah,
he's a Trent Dilfer. He's one of those kind of guys. He's just he's not a franchise guy. He's not a difference maker. He's a facilitator.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You can win like that, but you have to recognize that and you have to build around him. This is a Dolphins team to me right now that is as close to a complete team as I've covered. Since 2012, when I came back to covering them, and I say that because look. I'm a big fan of the defense. You guys know that. I ride with this defense, and I know the defense has come against a lot of criticism, but I think it's a playmaking defense, if nothing else. It is kind of a bend but don't break. They're missing a lot of personnel. Look, I give a huge amount of credit to the coaching staff, starting with Mike McDaniel, but to Josh Boyer and to Sam Madison and everybody for getting these guys in the secondary ready to play. You're winning with Verone McKinley and Clayton Fedulum and Justin Bethel. It's like, are you kidding me? So I like what the coaching staff is doing. And also, Big O, the other reason that I think that this team is different is it's not just that I think it's even, as I wrote last week, the depth. I think the depth is a big difference that you can numbers 23 through 53 on this roster are probably better than we've seen in the previous 10 years. And that also makes a huge difference that you see when there are injuries, they are able to find answers. And that's both coaching and player, but it's a good marriage of front office, coach, and player and system. And so that's what, to me, these are some of the things that separate this team. Tua's playing great. Tua is playing out of his mind. Tyreek, this dude, I can't say enough good stuff about this dude. You talk about a difference maker and a guy who's on his way to Canton if he does in the second half of his career what he did in the first half, he's there. But, going beyond Jalen Waddle, Teron Armstead, going beyond the top-tier talent, you've got really good coaching, love McDaniel, love his play calling, love his scheme, and the depth on this team, I think is just really different than what we've seen in previous teams. And yeah, we can credit Chris Greer, we can credit Mike McDaniel, whatever, and the players. But those are some of the biggest differences that I see with this team and previous Dolphins teams.
Well, listen, today's world it's a different world. And then it was 20 years ago, 40 years ago. And one of the things that I like about Chris Greer is that he allows everybody else to grow. And you've had kind of a totalitarian type of people in charge over the years, whether it's Saban, whether it's Jeff Ireland, or whether it's Parcells, or whether it's Jimmy or whatever, where
Tannenbaum and everybody.
There wasn't a lot of flexibility, where Chris Greer has no ego and says, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to bring Marvin Allen and Reggie McKenzie over here. Hell yeah. Those are guys they should be GMs on their own. And that's why this front office kicks ass, because you got that. And then here's Josh Boyer telling you, hey, I like this corner. I want to scout him and maybe bring him over. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Cater Kohu. And yeah, we'll give him a little extra money to bring him over as a free agent, all that kind of stuff. The ego-less way of running things and allowing coaches to coach, players to be themselves, front office people to help you, all of those kind of things. Not to think, I'll give you the example. Randy Mueller comes in and says, all right, Coach Saban, yes, I'm ready for the draft. And he whips out all his presentations and all his breakdowns of all the players. And within 2 minutes, Saban goes, that's fantastic. Here's mine.
Right.
It's like all the work Randy did just went right out the effing door, and anything that Saban did was going to count. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there needs to be some of that in a corporation, in an organization, and in whatever. You got to allow people to participate, and I think that's what's going on here. There's a lot of that there's a lot of chemistry, because people are allowed to communicate, connect, and even disagree. And I think that's actually really cool in that building.
Right, and a more clear chain of command also, Big O. Remember, there used to be, Jeff Ireland, Joe Philbin, Don Aponte, just all these voices.
Tannenbaum.
Yeah, Tannenbaum, just all these voices chirping, and the decision maker has to, compile all of this information and try not to hurt this person's feelings and take this into account. That's gone. And so, yes, that's also the sign of a better run organization, Big O, when you have that clear chain of command and people aren't sniping and you don't have inner office politics at work. The decision-making process is much more clear, and you see that in the product on this field.
I'm with you there. All right. Talk to me about today. It's all about Chubb, right? Pretty much.
It is. You've got to stop that run game. You've got to make Nick Chubb a non-factor, which is tough. 814 yards rushing, and the dude runs hard. I mean, he, if I'm not mistaken, Big O, he has 3 yards per carry before contact and like 2.7 yards per carry after contact. So he's getting good blocking. He's finding the holes, and then once you make contact with him, he's carrying one guy, a couple of yards. So if you can focus on him and make this team one-dimensional, put the game on the arm of Jacoby Brissett, you're a long way toward your victory. And I'll say this, Big O, I think this rush defense for the Dolphins has been okay. It hasn't been great. It's been okay. They let Justin Fields break loose. They let Dalvin Cook break loose. The Justin Fields 61-yard run, Dalvin Cook 53, Lamar Jackson 79. And then, obviously Breece Hall ran for 97 against them. But for the most part, they've been okay. Again, not good, not great, but they've been okay. But you've got to be better than
four
okay
elite
today.
athletes. By the way, those are 4 elite athletes that you just mentioned.
Correct.
Four guys that give practically anybody trouble. That's the thing, too. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, they've been solid. I mean, hell, they're number 6 against the run. So it's not like they're getting killed by running backs every week. A couple of quarterbacks have kind of skewed those numbers.
Yeah. Some guys have broken loose on them for the long runs. And look, they would have broken 100-yard. Well, I guess Lamar had 119, so the 79. But Justin Fields would have broken 100 anyway. But whatever. Stop Nick Chubb. Yeah, that's what you've got to do is stop Nick Chubb, and you've got to get 11 guys through the football because you've got to gang tackle that guy, Big O. I'm not too worried about the passing game of Cleveland. I do want to see some pressure on the quarterback, though. Even if you don't get Brissett down, you don't have to have 4 or 5 sacks, but let's get some pressure on him. Let's flush him out of the pocket. Let's move him off of his spot and see what can happen there, because this defense, if the front end gives the back end a chance or the back end gives the front end a chance, it'll work. It'll work. So
I don't think that happens anymore. Unless you get 100% X and Byron Jones back, the back end is not here to help the front end anymore. The back end is to survive. The front end needs to carry, Perk, from here on out. The front end, you don't have a Brandon Jones anymore. You don't have Byron Jones, and X is playing at, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is he, 70, 80%? Does he still have 2 growing or 1 growing injury? I don't know what the hell the guy's dealing with, but he's clearly not himself because they're attacking him like he's just a regular corner at times, which is really disturbing to watch over the last couple of weeks. We're done with that part, Perk. I will disagree with you on that one. I don't think the back end can support. That's why you got Chubb. You better. But here's the catch-22. If you allow them to run the shit out of the ball, you'll never pressure the quarterback because there aren't going to be a lot of dropbacks. And so you've got to stop that run, force Jabroni to pass, and then maybe you can get after Brisket.
Yeah, I got you, Big O. I'll say this though, for the defense, the secondary did just win the Pittsburgh game, right? With the Javon Holland interception and Noah. So, and Chicago and Detroit. Well, Detroit, they pitched the shutout in the second half, which that wasn't all the secondary. But and Chicago, they keep the passing game under control. So, I think it's a playmaking team, and at this point, the secondary, you've got to count on them to make plays as opposed to that, the down to down solid play that they're just down. They're just down in numbers. But
I don't listen.
Plays,
I'm with you. Yeah. I think Josh Boyer has done a marvelous job. Right. You're playing with corners 5, 6, 7, and 8, bro.
Correct.
Number 2's gone in Byron Jones. Number 3's gone in Needham. Yep. Number 4 was Trill Williams.
Yep, correct.
He was working his way to being the guy. Yep. And then now you're done. So now you're 5, 6, 7, and 8. And as I've been saying for a couple weeks now, Brandon Jones cannot be replaced. And McDaniel said it this week finally. Right. There's nobody that's as versatile as that kid. Correct. And I was so proud of him because this year he was becoming a good cover guy, which was the only hole in his game. Everything else about him, I love that kid. And I thought he had all the potential to grow into an unfortunate damn knee injury. But to overcome all those injuries in the secondary, I'm really impressed with him. But the front 7 has to be the MVP of the defense from here on out for the rest of the season. And with Chubb and those guys, you have to find a way to disrupt passing games and getting after the quarterbacks because, unfortunately, you can only ask so much from some of these guys back there.
100%. And so, we need to see something, and it's not just Bradley Chubb getting sacks, but it's Bradley Chubb creating opportunities for Jalen Phillips and Mel Ingram and Van Ginkel. And so, there's a couple of things that Chubb can do that it's not just getting the sacks, Big O. It's creating, being a force, being somebody that you have to worry about, like we're going to see from Myles Garrett, right? And I love the Garrett Teron Armstead matchup. Teron, you talk about a grown man, Big O. Alex Highsmith, didn't hear from him. Aiden Hutchinson, didn't hear from him. So I'm looking forward to that matchup today. But yes, just like Myles Garrett can create for other people, Bradley Chubb has got to do that. He's got to be a huge headache for Cleveland and then create stuff, not only make plays himself, but create opportunities for other players. And that's, that's obviously part of the reason why you give him the big dollars, because of what he can do for the team, not just what he can do putting up his own numbers.
By the way, you can follow him on Twitter like I and many others do at Chris Perk. Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel, covering the Miami Dolphins on a daily basis. Perk, what's the prediction? What happens today? Do they go 7-3?
Yeah, I think they do. I've got Dolphins. I think I predicted 28-24. And Big O, look, I think that this offense is good enough. I want to see this offense get into full gear starting this week. And we saw them against Chicago and Detroit, two bad teams, but I give the offense credit because anytime you go on the road and you put up over 30, Big O, you've done something. So I want to see some more consistency, some touchdown scoring consistency from the offense. We know they can put up yards. We know they can convert on third down and fourth down, and the red zone is getting better. But I want to see the touchdown, and I want to see consistent touchdowns. And I'm not talking about 5 touchdowns a game, but 3 or 4 on a consistent stretch, and then we'll see what it does in the last, 4 or 5 games of the season heading into the playoffs. But and yeah, I did say playoffs. But from the man who predicted them to win 8 games, Big O. Yeah, nobody's forgotten that. But yeah, I want to see, I want to see the offense. It's about time, mid-season for this offense to really start getting, finding its fear factor. It's consistent fear factor. We know Tyreek and Tua and Jalen, but let's see it on a consistent basis.
How much did you guys laugh at me in the middle of the press room when I said Tua is like Montana and Breeze and those kind of guys? How much were you guys laughing at me a couple months ago when I said that?
Well, I mean, look, there's been a lot of things said about Tua that, I don't think that Tua is at that level yet. Okay, let's.
Oh no, of course not. Of course not. But I believe he's one of those guys. I believe, like Perk, you're old enough. I can actually fucking have this conversation with you.
Right, exactly.
Greasy, Tarkenton, right? It's Tarkenton, Greasy, then or Greasy, then Tarkenton, then comes Montana, then comes Breeze. They're like generational players. There's not a lot of them. They come every once in a while. Why? Because you've got to be physically a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger normally in this league. And, I remember watching Montana stand next to Elway and Marino, and it was like they dwarfed him.
Yep.
And they dwarfed him in everything, in arm or in Elway's ability. Montana couldn't do any of the stuff that Elway could ever do, bro. And Montana never had the arm that Marino had or the size or anything like that, but he was a badass. So was Tarkenton. Greasy was a good quarterback. Breeze was a hell of a quarterback. I believe he's this generation's one of those kind of dudes. Those dudes that are they have enough talent to do everything you need to do, but what lifts them up is this, because they're not blessed like Marino or Elway or Culpepper or whatever, bro. So many guys, Ryan Leaf or whatever, even the failures.
Yeah.
The Georges of the world. They don't have those kind of blessings, but they have to overcome it with anticipation, accuracy, ball placement, all those kind of things. And that's what all those guys are. And to me, I know they don't come around a lot, but when I see Tua, that's what I see. I see one of those kind of guys, and he's making me look good because that's what he's looking like right now. It's not there yet. I get it, but I just kind of sense it that this is that guy.
Well, and I'll say this also about Tua, that, the two things, again, that I said, the deep throw and the decision making. And the decision making since he's been back, Big O, has been better. Even when he's under pressure, we don't see him just throwing the ball up like we did the previous 2 seasons. Earlier this season, we've seen him slide. We've seen him run out of bounds, and that's part of the decision-making process, right? I mean, we didn't see him take on a couple of defensive players, but he's a competitor. He's a competitor, Big O. I know, but he's a competitor. But he's also gotten smart from that. So the arrow is going up on Tua, and I hope it continues to go up. Like I said, it was never personal, but I had not seen those things from him. And I know that you say I worked on my deep ball, but we don't know that it's there until we see it in a game. So it's like a guy who runs a world record time in practice in the 100 meters. Until you do it in the track meet, we don't know that you can do it. So Tua is now doing it in games. He did it in the offseason. He strengthened his arm. and now he's doing it. And look, never doubted the accuracy or whether he's a quality NFL quarterback. It's right. If you're going to extend him and make him your franchise quarterback, that was what I needed to see, the arm strength and the decision making. And to this point, I've seen it. To this point, I have. Yeah.
No doubt. All right, Perk. Appreciate you as always. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Chris Perk and catch his work there at the Sun Sentinel. Studley, as always, Perk. Enjoy the game, my friend. And wow, you might be covering a playoff team.
Yeah. At this point, I would have to say that I am. I mean, I better, right? They better make it at this point, Big O.
By the way, I got a house already in Phoenix, Arizona for the week of the Super Bowl.
I love it, baby. I love it. The Airbnb.
Three bedroom, 3 bath. Parties are going to go galore every night over there, bro. So
I love it. I'll be there. I'll be there. All right, Big O. We'll do it
good,
again, man. Thanks for having me.
There you go. My pleasure. That is Chris Perkins, baby, from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Nothing but love for Perk. But I remember right when he started, so I was intrigued to see where he was at with all of that. I read him, I follow him, so I know he was already turning the corner with Tua. How can you not turn the corner with Tua? Give me a break, bro. The guy's been a freaking stud. It's been awesome. True Finn fan is asking, and thank you for the love in the super chat. Favorite Dolphin uniform? Oh, mine is the 2000. Oh God, man. I still love the classic one, man. I still love the classic one with the thin stripes and all that stuff. Oh man. One of those, like in a merino jersey, like with the 13, so freaking sweet, you know. Or maybe now give me a 201 too. You know what I'm saying? I do want to also tell you, EJD Construction, a proud sponsor of our pre and post game show, of course, is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show. And you can reach out to Eric anytime, 305-433-4843. He is a full contractor and fully insured. So everyone working on your home is fully insured. Anything happens to them, they're not going to sue you. Because if they're not fully insured, they're going to sue you. So make sure, even if you don't hire EJD Construction, you hire somebody else. I beg you, whoever you ask to take one step on inside your home, make sure they're fully insured. Because if they're not, you're going to be held liable if they get injured in your home. So make sure you hire the right companies like EJD Construction. It's got a AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, fully insured, and a full contractor. And a lot of you now are calling him because some of you are not passing inspection. And it's not because there's anything really wrong with your home, but you've got to upgrade your roof. And now the insurance companies are required for you to upgrade your roof so you can get renewed. So they do that, all right? Fully contracted. Hell, they can build a home. They can build a second floor. They can build an extra room. If you had a fire, they remediate everything. They can clear it all out and clean it up. They were doing it for one of our listeners who had a fire in their home, and they gutted the whole home, and they had to remediate everything so they can start from scratch. Call EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. You want to modernize that kitchen. You want to create a funky man cave or whatever. EJD Construction does it for you. Custom home construction, major home remodeling, 305-433-4843. And make sure you tell Eric that Big O sent you. EJDconstruction.com. Yes, Josh Allen is active, and that's their effing problem, not mine. And if they want to play him with a tear in the UCL, you go ahead and be stupid and play him with a tear in the UCL and risk it. And that's fine, because then the Dolphins won't have to deal with him for 2 years, the rest of this season, and he'll miss most or all of next season. So if they want to do that, God bless you, bro. Go ahead, make it easier for the Dolphins in this division. I have watched a lot of baseball and followed a lot of baseball over the years. Those guys with a slight tear in their elbows in the UCL, they end up with Tommy John. Just telling you. All right. Roger. Okay, do we have the Roger wrap there, Sean? Ready to go. You know we love Roger Morant. Hardcore Dolphins fan. He and Solo D every week get us ready with a new rap. And Roger is raring to go. And to jack you a little bit up for the game today, by the way, he's got some great lyrics in this. He always does. And was it the one with Detroit with the 3 toes and 1 ass foot or whatever the hell it was called? He threw that in there. That was too much. All right, here we go. Roger Morant with this week's rap against the Browns.
What's up, Phinz fans? You already know what time it is. Dolphins, Browns, white on white. Let's do it. The Dolphins host the Cleveland Browns this week. The fans are ready for a 4-game win streak. Offensive prowess that we haven't seen in years. It's like the Redskins with the Smurfs or the greatest show on turf. Perhaps the best comparison we can give for sure is Shades of Marino Duper Clayton 84. With our eyes fast and fixed on the goal, Miami Dolphins headed to the Super Bowl. They did the work and have the calluses. Ecker Sims and Owls putting on a better show than the Aurora Borealis. Dimes. Tua delivers in strides. So many styles on offense, other teams are running high. Try to gain some yards and matriculate the ball. Attempt to run against our defenses like Simon and a wall. Chris McDaniel, he's so drippy. He will lead us to the crown. Bring us back to glory. Miami Dolphins, Title Town. Title Town.
Title Town.
Waddle,
Waddle, waddle.
Title Town. The Dolphins don't move the chains. They score with Tua, Waddle, Wilson, Hill, and more. We're headed to the Super Bowl. You know, just one more game before the reinforcements will arrive. We need to stop the run and smother, hunt, and shove. It's a simple plan that leads us to the dub. Stay the course with Tua, confidence unbending. Watson to the Browns. That's my happy ending. Happy ending. I have to tell you, I am really happy that we kept Tua. We did not trade for that bum, Watson. But I digress. Tua Waddle Hill. What a thrill. Tua Waddle Hill. What a thrill. Tua Waddle Hill. What a thrill. Cheetah.
Love it. Love it, Roger. We got to get Roger on the show, by the way. Got to do that. Got to get Roger. Got to get Solo D on the show. All right, 1 hour down. We got one more to go. Give us 2 minutes, and then when we come back, Lee Sterling will join us at 12:15. We'll give you our picks around the NFL. I got some Tua talk that I want to get to that I found some, it's kind of an interesting stat for Tua. I also want to talk a little bit about some of the things that to look forward to in this game, the injury notes. We'll go over some of that kind of stuff. And, of course, our picks. We'll take your questions. Remember, you can also make a donation on the program through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And remember, you can even donate a little Bitcoin through Cash App. Yes, yes. And have no faith. Crypto is just fine. It's just there's a lot of FUD out there. Hour number 2, we get you ready for Dolphins and Browns right here on the Sports Talk 305 Network.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Welton Rayon has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayon, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayon can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayon can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugaray.
All righty. We getting ready. We're into the final hour of the program as we take it till 1 o'clock, and we get you ready for a little Miami Dolphins, a little Cleveland Browns. We'll be back, by the way, as the second ticks off the clock. We will then be back. Marcel Louis-Jacques and Cameron Wolfe will join us in the post-game show, so they'll give us their reactions from the locker room, from the game, overall, all of that. So we'll get all the insight on anything that went on in the locker room from two of our insiders that are there watching it on a consistent basis. Of course, we'll break it down for you too. And we thank you for supporting us here on the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show. We love that. By the way, don't forget to follow our friends at Nature Bee on Instagram. In a couple of weeks, at the beginning of December, we're going to give away 2 prize packs worth over $100. Follow them on Instagram at NatureBNZ. Tag a friend. You and the friend will be entered in the drawing. Also use the hashtag Big O Radio Show, and you're entered right away, you and your friend. So maybe one of you wins it. Maybe both of you wins it. Who knows? You might be both lucky. Maybe both unlucky, unfortunately. And remember, our deal is still going on. I tell you about plant pollen all the time. Hell, I work 7 days a week. I need energy. It gives me energy. It boosts my immune system, which is incredibly important. All right. And there are so many benefits from plant pollen. It's also great for your kids and for the adults because it protects your immune system, boosts you. By the way, stronger nails, fuller hair. It's great for digestion. There's so many ways that natural plant pollen helps you out, and it comes from clean, green New Zealand, straight from Mother Nature, not some lab. So I'm telling you, it's so natural. It's so good. Have you ever tried to break up a capsule and taste the powder? It's terrible. Do it with Nature Bee. Break the capsule, put the powder in directly, and you're going to go, wow, okay, it doesn't taste bad. That's the amazing part. And it's potentiated, which they break down the cells already. So once you absorb it, it goes directly into your system to help you out. 2 golden capsules every single day will change your life. I've been doing it for 20 years. You can order 2 months for $66, 2 bottles. You'll get the 3rd month for free and free shipping. Can't beat that, man. Can't beat that. That's the kind of protection you want. naturebee.com. Use our code Big O. That's how you're going to get the 3rd month for free and the free shipping. You must use our code Big O. Go to naturebee.com. All right. Yes, sir, Sean. What do you got going?
I have a question for you.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
Do you think the Bills are using this as a scheme?
No, because they didn't activate Barkley.
I understand that, but I'm following on the line, and of course, Marcel Louis-Jacques, he's a Buffalo Bill guy.
Yeah, so he wears Buffalo underwears too on our reports.
He retweeted from the game, or reporters at the game right now. Josh Allen has not been on the field one time. Case Keenum just wrapped up throwing with the receivers. No Josh Allen still. That was about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. You know what they're doing, right? They think he can play in a pinch. So Case Keenum will be your quarterback. As your emergency, they feel that Josh Allen, even at an emergency, is better than Barkley, which I might have Josh Allen throw left-handed before I even have Matt Barkley play. I've never been a Matt Barkley guy. I got to tell you, when they didn't activate him, I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. Matt Barkley sucks. I mean, Case Keenum. You know what's funny? People talk about Tua's arm in bad weather. Have you ever seen Case Keenum's arm? I love how they talk about Tua, and this guy's arm is weaker, and he's playing in Buffalo. Okay. What can I tell you, man? You know what I mean? It's just, to me, and by the way, I don't believe any of that silly crap. Tua's fine in bad weather, fine in the rain, all that stuff. The Tennessee game was so poorly managed. I mean, Duke has like 60 yards in the first half. You're running well. And you look on the other side where they've got the game manager in Tannehill, and what are they doing? Running. And we decide not to run anymore in the second half and just to pass. It just, and he has no protection and all that and whatever. All of this Tua BS that's gone on for 2 years has just driven me crazy because they're lies. They may not know it. Like the guy that says, oh, he's got a noodle arm. No, it's a lie. Either you're dumb, it's a lie, or you just don't know football. It's one of the three. Oh, he doesn't work hard. It's one of the three. Work ethic's never been a problem. Oh, he can't take Flo's tough coaching. Flo's not a tough coach. Flo's an asshole. There's a difference. Saban's a tough coach. And he survived Saban. Apparently, his dad is worse than Saban. It had nothing to do with tough coaching. It had to do with a despicable idiot that couldn't stand the kid. So to me, this is what it's been all about: lies, misinformation. That it's just kind of normal nowadays. And that's what people have been spewing about Tua the entire time. And it's funny because Case Keenum's arm is weaker than Tua's arm. And Buffalo thought he's good enough to be a backup quarterback. Oh, man. Let's see. If Teron Armstead can't go, do you see why is Teron Armstead not going? I must have missed it. Well, why would you say that? What makes it sound like he's not doing it? Because he rested this week? He's playing. I don't believe that he's not playing. Unless there's some kind of a report, Why would you not rest Armstead, ex-injured players at least? I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. Armstead's playing. Okay? That's not an issue. Hell, he practiced once this week. I think on Wednesday he practiced, which is ridiculous. And we do have the we just gave you the inactives and the latest injury report, so you can see it there. Hunter Long has got he's in concussion protocol, so he's out. Teron Armstead, he's got the toe in the calf, did not participate, limited on Thursday, did not participate, and questionable. He's playing. Okay? This is a normal week for him. The fact that he practiced on Thursday is huge. He's gone weeks where he doesn't practice more often than not. Teddy Bridgewater, as you all know, is now out. Skylar Thompson. Oh, and let's get into that a little. Well, we'll do that in a minute. But Skylar Thompson is your backup now. Tanner Connor, also, he's dealing with a knee injury. And Austin Jackson, with the high ankle sprain and the calf, was limited throughout the week and questionable. So you go. And now you know about Sherfield in the toe, and he's out for this game too. He's inactive. So that's your list there overall for the injury list for the game. We await Lee Sterling, by the way, from Paramount Sports to give us his picks. I do want to get into a couple things that we will talk with you guys about with the Dolphins, but I don't want to start now and then we're about to. There he is. He is ready to go. All right, let's bring him aboard. Let's talk about the latest, the lines around the NFL. Lee Sterling and Paramount Sports, and you can go to ParamountSports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at Paramount Sports. He is Lee Sterling. Lee, good morning, sir. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. I love these Sundays when they have the games in London or this week Munich. Gives you something to do. I'm hearing also college football is probably going to go to 9 a.m. games starting next year or the year after. So,
wow, 9 a.m. games. Holy shit, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So you're up at 6 a.m. on the West Coast?
Yep. Trust me, it'll be the MAC, the American Athletic Conference,
right,
Conference USA, or can you imagine? Right. Can you imagine if they did that to the Pac-12? That's what they should have to play.
Oh no, but
they want to be seen.
Yeah, but it's so early for those guys.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that.
No, but those other conferences, that's a good idea. It's like those Tuesday night games that you've got, the nation to yourself, and then you get to kind of showcase your program.
Yeah.
So I get that. That's kind of interesting. All right, let's get into today's game. First of all, the Dolphins. Dolphins favored. Now the line is down to 3. So it looks like some of the money has been coming in because it was 4.5, 3.5. Now it's 3. The over and under is 49.5. Browns are plus 145 on the money line, and Dolphins minus 170 on the money line.
I don't get it. I mean, if Miami was decimated with injuries, maybe, but it's going to be hot. I think some people are playing them because they're coming off of a bye, but they played their best game. I think that all that momentum was ruined. That's typical Cleveland. They finally win a game and look great against Cincinnati and could, now got to wait another week to play. So I think Miami's the right side. I think Miami knows Jacoby Brissett inside and out. They've had trouble with dual threat quarterbacks, and Jacoby Brissett is not mobile at all. Like a statue back there. So, we saw him last year when he had to start for us, how bad it was. So I think Miami's going to have success on offense, and I think their defense is going to step it up here. Really just got to stop that running game. You stop Chubb and you force them to second long, third and long, they have trouble here. So we'll take Miami. I think they win this game something like 27-17.
Yeah, I like Miami to win by over a touchdown in this game too. And by the way, they've done a good job against backs. It's been the quarterbacks, the athletic ones, that have gotten away with some big stuff like Lamar Jackson and obviously Fields last week. And sometimes you just got to tip your hat to them. They're just freaks, man. They're hard.
You know what's crazy? Because people are like, oh, well, let's put a spy on him. There's no real defenses that have a spy. I mean, that's one of the dumbest comments that I've ever seen.
No, and by the way, you're now asking that spy, okay, spy, you now have to stop Justin Fields or Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. What are the chances that one guy is going to be able to catch? It's Rocky catching the chicken. You're not going to catch the chicken, dude.
Right.
It's just good. He's going to fake you out because guess what he does? He fakes 4 or 5 guys out, not just one. Come on.
Right. Yeah. I mean, who are you going to put? Who would the Dolphins put as their spy? Have to put you either put Baker, like a strong safety, a linebacker. Baker's not taking him down.
Yep.
Any great? You saw Baker. Baker, I thought didn't he look off last week?
Yeah. Because the problem with Baker for me is, one, he's a weak side linebacker at all. That's the only thing I think he really fits. He doesn't fit the strong side or in the middle. And then 2, I don't believe he's really good against the run, because I don't believe he's really good getting through the traffic, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. He doesn't fight off blocks. That's not who he is. I think he's more of a coverage and a blitzing linebacker. And I think he helps you out in those kind of areas. I just don't believe the physical part of the game is his strong suit. I think the athletic part of his game is his strong suit.
And he can't cover. He can't tackle. He couldn't. I mean, Fields made him look silly.
Of course. Brandon Jones, to be quite honest, is the only guy, and he's off. He's injured. He's done. He's the one guy that they can't replace anyway. I kept telling people, this kid has grown into one hell of a – this year when he turned the corner as a cover guy, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Against the run, he's fantastic. As a blitzer, I mean, I really love Brandon Jones. He is a hell of a pick for this team. And when they lost him, that was one that was really – that's the only guy that I think I might be able to use as a spy, because he's – tough enough and quick enough to kind of maybe do it. And still, he's going to fail a whole bunch of times, because Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson are going to make you look stupid more often than not. That's just who they are. Yeah. All right, give us a couple more in the NFL you like today.
I like Denver, plus the 2.5 at Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill's back. It looks like going to start, but they just don't have any receivers. They can't push the ball down the field. Denver might have, got back some of their mojo. I know they're still without one of their best linemen, Williams, one of the best running backs, but I think they match up well with Tennessee. You stop Tennessee's running game, they're in trouble. So I like Denver there. Also, believe it or not,
so you're getting 2 in that game on the road, by the way, for those of you out there.
2.5. Also like San Francisco tonight against the Chargers. So I know it's 7.5. I'd probably buy it down to 7 just to be safe. It only costs you an extra 10 cents. They are number 1 defense total yards allowed, number 6 in points allowed, 18.6 points per game. The Chargers are just decimated with injuries. Top 2 receivers out, it looks like, for this game. Starting left tackle, best pass rusher, best cornerback, also their kicker. I mean, these are important guys here. I mean, they've been doing with Eckler out of the backfield, running. I think just San Francisco with Deebo Samuel back, he'll be playing in this game. You put him and McCaffrey and Kittle together. That's where Jimmy G does his best work. I think San Francisco might be the team out of the NFC. Them and Philadelphia, the 2 best teams. So I think they start stretching their legs out here and maybe put forth another great performance against the Chargers. So I'd lay the 7, buy it down. Also, game that absolutely shocks me that they're favored. Well, it's about to pick them now, is New Orleans. New Orleans is a pick 'em against Pittsburgh. You could have gotten it all week at Pittsburgh plus 1.5. Pittsburgh as an underdog. Mike Tomlin, 18-9 since 2019. He gets his guys ready. I don't know what it is. You see certain coaches in college, also in the NFL, I don't know, they watch a certain movie, the way they practice during the week, but they just go about it differently. Also, gives them an extra week. They're coming off the bye. And I think it's important for a rookie quarterback to pick it. And I think his timing with the 2 receivers should be better. Watt's going to be back playing his first game since he got hurt early in the season. Outside of their kicker getting hurt, I think Pittsburgh, nice spot here. I'll take them as a pick 'em against New Orleans.
All right, so it is Miami -3, Pitt -1, Denver +2, and you said one more. Oh yeah, the Chargers game, right? You want Niners? Yeah, Niners -7.
-7. Buy it down from 7.5 to 7.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I like the Niners one too. I like that pick. You got. Well, one more thing. And I could talk with this with you because one, you played the position, so you know it better than we do. And I keep saying that Tua, and I know it sounded crazy for the first couple of years. Now people might be saying that I'm not as crazy, but in every generation, as you and I have been growing up, there's a Greasy, and then there's a Tarkenton, and then there's a Marino. I mean, there's a Montana, and then there's a Breeze. I believe this is the guy that follows all those other guys. They don't come around a lot. I get it. They're not built like Marino. They're not built like Ben Roethlisberger. They're not built like Justin Herbert. They're not built like Josh Allen. I get all of that, but they have the same trait. They're all super smart. They all are accurate. They all have ball placement. They all have anticipatory skills. Because if not, they could never be the quarterbacks that they are. I've always felt that this is, and the lazy thing is people say, oh no, he's Steve Young. No, he's not, dude. He doesn't run like Steve Young. He never played like Steve Young at BYU and early San Francisco, where he was like a half running back, a bulldog quarterback. Right. He's Montana, actually. He's a lefty Montana. That's what I feel. Do you see him the same way I do, that he's one of those kind of dudes? They don't come around a lot. There's not a lot of those, but every once in a while, every generation's hit with one of those kind of guys that can overcome not being so physically talented. Like when we used to see Montana next to Marino and Elway, there was no comparison body-wise or arm-wise, but on the field, it was a whole different ballgame.
I like Tua. I've always thought he was the guy as long as they put talent around him. I don't think he's quite in that class. His deep ball is still not there yet. Those guys, even Greasy and Montana, could throw the deep ball pretty well. And, they didn't fire as many long passes, especially at Greasy. But when they had Tua's been short on a number of long passes. So,
but he's not. But notice how it's all Tyreek. It's not Waddle. So I think it's still. I think it's still a timing thing that he has to have a feel that he's letting it loose like a half a second late or a fourth of a second late or something. With Waddle, he always leads him, but with Tyreek, he has fallen
it's tough
a couple of times.
Yeah. I think it's close. I think he can be a very good quarterback. I think be a top 7-8 quarterback. Right now, statistically, he's number one. I think it's like 115.9 or 116.9. Without him, you see the difference. So I'm just enjoying it. You know what? Let's have some fun with it. Let's root for Minnesota today. I don't think Minnesota can do it with Kirk Cousins, but I was hoping Josh Allen would rest for 2 or 3 weeks, but that's a story for another. It's going to be fun. The rest of this season with the Jets, pretty good. With New England starting to come on too.
The Breece Hall thing is a huge blow to their offense. Huge blow.
When he was drafted, because I watch all these college games, I told everyone Dolphins should go after Breece Hall. Three touchdowns his last 3 games where he got hurt above like 60-something yards.
Awesome.
He's big, strong, and super fast. I mean, he has the next gear. And I thought Wilson was an under the radar. I think with these 2 running backs, we'll be fine. Breece Hall was the guy. Who was it? There was someone else picked in the 2nd round this year, too. There was another back this year. Name escapes me. Someone else was taken in the 2nd round.
Oh, isn't it DeAndre or whatever? The kid that's kicking ass. I know who you're talking about. He's the 2nd round pick. I know exactly who you're talking about. Now,
what team?
God. He's running so well. I have to look it up, but I'm brain farting. But I kind of know who the hell.
Seattle. Kenneth Walker III.
Oh, okay, Kenneth Walker. Okay, I was thinking of somebody else actually. So I'm back. My bad.
Yeah,
My bad. All right. By the way, what do they got to do to get in contact with Paramount Sports since you guys are on a roll?
Yeah, haven't had a losing Sunday yet. You want to get 5 games today? $55. As soon as you purchase it, window pops open. Takes you 2 to 3 minutes to fill it out. We take every major credit card. Documented, not one losing NFL Sunday, which I don't think anyone can make that claim. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
There you go. Lee, as always, I appreciate you, my man. We'll catch up next week, my friend. Thank you. There you go. The great Lee Sterling, baby. Paramount Sports. He's on a roll. If you want to make a sports investment, Kenneth Walker. He is correct. I was thinking of somebody else. Let's see what else we have going on. If Josh Allen tears at UCL today, the Bills coaching staff and medical staff should be fired. No, if they're going to make those kind of decisions, John, are you a Dolphins fan or what? Let's keep them in place, bro. If they want to keep making those kind of decisions, let them go, baby. Let them go. All right, we had to serve up to everybody else, our sorry-ass coaches, that we would keep. We kept Joe Philbin around year after year after year after year. Oh, my God. So let them keep around shitty coaches and medical staff and everything else. Let them do that. If they're going to do stupid things, I encourage the Bills, the Patriots, and the Jets to constantly do stupid things. I'm encouraging them. It's a good thing. It's beautiful to do that. You know, it's what it's all about. It's kind of like calling cuttersedgepro.com. You should go to the Instagram page and check it out. Our home is there, too, because they did a beautiful job with our home. And they could do a beautiful job with your home, with your condominium complex, with your business. And you know how it is with landscaping. It changes everything. It changes the look. It increases the value. And, you know, in our case, we weren't really using our backyard much. Open the door, let the dogs do their business, not much. Now we have brought it to life with all the landscaping, the artificial turf. Our dogs no longer bring in any dirt. They're no longer kicking up grass. They're no longer destroying grass. Why? Because they don't even, you know how sometimes when dogs do their business, they like to kick up grass and all, especially my big girl, Maiden. She loves to do that. Now she doesn't do it because the artificial turf. They're no longer eating grass, and you're saving a ton of money in the long run. Why? Because you're no longer watering the grass or cutting it. Artificial turf is amazing. Plus, they add this little white sand inside the artificial turf that cuts the heat in half. So the turf is always cool for your dogs. It's a beautiful thing, man. So if you've been thinking about it, been wondering, what should I do it? Artificial turf. Oh, I'm telling you. And it looks natural. That's the other thing. The artificial turf looks natural. It's got the green and like a little hint of like brown sometimes. You know what I mean? Like most grass has like a little brown every once in a while. Just like that, dude. It looks exactly like real grass. It is awesome. Check it out for yourself. And again, landscaping is a way of increasing everything. They do it all, by the way. They do lighting. All right. They do irrigation, which they do at all of that. They bring your entire house to life. Check it out. Excuse me. Call them 954-472-0622. Ask for William or Mike. Tell them that Big O sent you. cuttersedgepro.com. Held that sneeze right to the end. All right. Anyway. I'm curious, why wouldn't you do live reaction to Dolphin games? Brian, do you follow this show? So you want me to do 5 days a week where I talk 3 to 4 hours a day. We have maybe 2 to 3 minutes of commercial breaks in an hour. You want me to do Tuesday night. You want me to do Saturday's pre and post game show. And now you want me to talk a pregame show for 2 hours, an entire game for 3 hours, and then 2 more hours. Did that put you into perspective? Did you not see me like spraying this mucinic on my ass right now just a minute ago in the middle of that interview? Do you know why this is, bro? Do you know how many hours I talk a week? You know what? I'll do it right now. Who is it? Brian, do me a favor, Brian. Send me a $3,000 Cash App right now. And I'll do it for the rest of the season. Right now. Send me a $3,000 Cash App. Okay? I mean, it's so easy for you to ask me to just, blow my throat and just, I already had a polyp in my throat where I couldn't talk for a week from beating up my voice from talking way too much. But, since it's so easy for me to do it, Brian, just open up your wallet, drop me $3,000 and send it all in Bitcoin. Do me a favor. $3,000 Bitcoin on Cash App. And, it's so easy for me to do that. It's easy for you to drop $3,000. So let's do it. Let's do that. I'm waiting, Brian, here. It's 12:34. You got 12:35 now. You got 25 minutes for me to stay on the air for the next 3 hours. Sean Stanley's going, no, don't send it. Don't send it. Don't send it. Brian Looper says, LOL, sorry, Big O. He says, you got to understand what I do every week here on this platform. It's not easy. This is not easy what we do. You know what I mean? It's content constantly that we provide for you all. And I don't do this lazy shit that they do in radio, that they're playing half an hour commercials in an hour. You got to sit through half an hour commercials. You don't do that with us. Top of the hour might take a 2-minute break because I got to rest my voice, man. But nobody provides more content than we do. We provide way more content than the 3 shows that are left at QAM. You do realize that, right? We provide more content than the 3 shows combined at QAM. Yeah. Well, the afternoon show practically gives you no sports content whatsoever. So that's easy. I do more in 1/2 hour than they do in an entire week. So, you know what I'm saying? It's easy. Easy, brother. Big O, please stop buying Bitcoin and save your money. Roxy, I'm not going to stop. I know where it's going. It's fine. Hey, Roxy, it's fine, man. It's all good. I had idiots for 2 years telling me that Tua can't play, and I stood my ground, And 5 years ago, I talked about firing everybody and giving Chris Greer a chance, and people called me crazy. And for the last 3 to 4 years, we've had idiots that say Chris Greer is part of the problem, and they don't know what they're talking about. So basically what I'm saying, Roxy, is I appreciate it, but you don't know what you're talking about. I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. I know where Bitcoin's going to end up. All right. The dollar loses 6 to 8% of its value every year. For the last 100 years, you buy less for your dollar. It's 6 to 8%. Roxy, Bitcoin is 13 years old. It started at 0. It's in a decline right now at 17,000. Do the math. Which one gains and which one loses? So if you bought Bitcoin early, you're still so up, it's not even crazy. It's nuts how much you're up. The dollar goes down every year, 6 to 8%. That's a fact. So you buy less and less with the same dollar every year because everything is going up in price. But the dollar doesn't go with the same value. It doesn't increase with everything. It decreases. These are the facts. It's just you don't want to listen. You don't want to pay attention because you don't understand what's going on. And that's fine. There's so much FUD. There's so many people that don't know anything about this. And that's why it leaves so many people like yourself in the dark about this. And you don't understand it. And that's fine. 2-3 years from now, just like Tua, just like Chris Greer, 2-3 years from now, you're going to go back and going to go, oh, wow, you were right the whole time. Holy shit. Bitcoin's at $150,000. Because that's where it's going to be in 2 to 3 years from now. And then, but it's fine, man. Don't worry. Like I told everybody, did Bitcoin get hacked? No. I'm sorry. Did Ethereum get split? Like they split stocks? No. Did Cardano shut down? No. Okay. Did Polkadot? Did Kusama? Did Polygon? I don't know, something happened to those companies? Did they shut down? No. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just exchanges and DeFis that are having issues. Oh, they're like banks. They steal money from people and they shut down. The difference is they're federally insured. The exchanges are not. And what do I tell you? Do I tell you to keep your money on an exchange? No. The idea of crypto is to become your own bank. So I will not stop buying crypto. I will keep buying, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum. I will keep buying those like it's going out of style every chance I get. Okay. And if you want to donate a little Bitcoin on Cash App, Cash Big O Show, I'll be more than happy to accept the Bitcoin. Thank you. But that's my story. And I'm sticking to it like I stuck with Ryan Tannehill for years. And I kept telling people that he's not the guy. And for years, Roxy, people would come back at me when he went to Tennessee. And I kept explaining to him, watch the games. It's not really him. It's the whole system. He's just facilitating on his best day. And soon enough, people found out eventually, even with a great running back and a great line, Ryan Tannehill last year will be Ryan Tannehill. He will kill your season. He will kill your players. He will kill your drives. He will kill your playoff chances. That's who he is. And for years, Roxy, I stuck to my guns. And I was right in the end. So I will stick to my guns with Bitcoin. And I believe I will not just be right. I will be golden. And by the way, Roxy, did I not over the last couple of months now, did I not tell people get your money out of Voyager and it crashed? It did. Did I not tell you get your money out of FTX and it crashed? And it did. Why? Because I follow all of this. And if you would have listened to me, you wouldn't lost any money in Voyager. You would have not lost any money in FTX. And if you listened to me, you would have never even been at risk because you would have bought and moved everything to a cold storage wallet. So I'm just saying, watch the history. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not telling you I'm perfect. I'm not telling you that I'm always going to be right. But I don't waffle. I'm either right or I'm wrong, but I'm going to stay with my convictions until I'm proven right or wrong. One of the two. And nothing has proven me wrong about Bitcoin. Nothing whatsoever. Okay? It's only growing right now in usage. So everything will be fine. I'm not worried. Let's see what else. Anybody giving advice on crypto or trading in general is someone you shouldn't listen to. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. I don't really, I do my own homework, so I don't really worry about that kind of stuff. But I try to help people out, What do I think is going to happen with SHIB? That's a long-term play. As long as you're in it for a few years, I think it'll pay off for you. Now, not what like people think. I think maybe it gets to 0.5 cent. Maybe. That's about it. They say, oh, it's going to go to $1 or anything. No, that's stupid. That's just plain stupid. Maybe 0.5 cent. Dude compared my guy to Tua to Bitcoin. That's right. That's right. Tua, that's it. That's it. That's it. I believed in both, and they will both explode. That's it. And Chris Greer, by the way, which that one already exploded. I've never believed in Tannehill either. My intuition said nope. My intuition tells me Tua, our guy, and my intuition is Miami Dolphins in 72 unbeaten. There you go. I like it. You got to be smart with crypto and play it right. You can make a lot of money or lose a lot. Yeah, I have not made any money, and I have not lost. Well, no, actually, I lost a little bit because there was a couple coins that I did lose some stuff, but not a big deal. But yeah, I won't be making anything until I sell it. So it won't be for a couple of years until I think I can start to really enjoy the profits and really, take care of the family. Let's see. Big O, you should put a list of Big O commandments in the description, like thou shalt not talk smack about Bitcoin or Tua. Dude, you go every day. I don't know how you put in those hours. You do. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, Big Johnson. Appreciate you. We all appreciate having a Big Johnson. Big O, do we ever get any more raps from the old guy? I forgot his name. We just played it, dude, before. But you know what? I forgot. We have not played. Oh, man, come on, dude. We got to get Solo D out there. Let's go, Sean. Solo D's got his rap to get us ready for the Browns. If you want to see the Roger rap, it's right before the top of the hour, like around 11:58 or something, 57. We played Roger's rap. And don't call him the old man. It's Roger Morant, okay? Roger Morant. And this is the Honorable Solo D, baby. Do it, Sean.
Dolphins forever!
Miami Sports
Ride with the fans at the Hard Rock. Miami Daniels get the call shots. To a glitching, he be gifting, giving y'all shots. We defend against our house. We used to kill him in the L with the ground game. On Sundays, all white, so the brown stains. Look, where the haters at? Tell them take it back. Two of the man now. They afraid of that. We more like Sonic on the field with a Sega at. Coach McDaniel got that swag, Craig Sega back. We've been down so many years, it only was fair. We let that flame up in Chicago, Smokey the Bear. But we don't celebrate too long, see we on the road. We focus on flushing Cleveland down the toilet bowl. So tell Nick Chubb, he gon' get the big chub. Defense getting mixed up, focus on the big dub. And Brissett gon' get smoked like some brisket. Much love to you, but this week we gotta get that. And Jeff Wilson just entered in the chat room. He texted the end zone. I'll be back soon, cause we got Mostert, a member of that holster. We got weapons for days, I'm suggesting you pray. Coach Matt D got the play that got them boys confused. Don't know what we finna do. But I know on Sunday we beating Cleveland at the Hard Rock. On Sunday we beating Cleveland at the Hard Rock. On Sunday we beating Cleveland at the Hard Rock. We all white with brown stains at the Hard Rock. On Sunday we beating Cleveland at the Hard Rock. On Sunday we beating Cleveland at the Hard Rock. On Sunday we beating Cleveland at the Hard Rock. We all white with brown stains at the Hard Rock.
Timeouts. Focus.
On Sunday, we beaten Cleveland at the Hard Rock. I like it. I like it. Solo D, as always, absolute fire. Video, the rap, the beats, the kids, everything, man. Great job by Solo D. Always does a fantastic job with his video, man. Love it. Both Roger and Solo D. I look forward to their raps every single week. Fantastic. Way to go, Solo D. You are the king, my brother. You are definitely the king. And here's what I don't understand. Why the hell isn't Solo D inside the stadium? Like Tom Garfinkel, my brother, let's go. You do so many great things for the organization. That this guy is a rock. He's been doing this for years. And he comes up with great raps. And I know that he'll keep it, cool. He's not going to he's a respectable dude. You're not going to put him out there in front of the stadium. He's going to start dropping F-bombs and all that. He'll keep it straight, man. I would love to see Solo D jacking the crowd up at Hard Rock Stadium. I think it would be phenomenal. Seriously. I would have a Solo D rap at the beginning of the game. In fact, when the players come out, it would come. I would have them coming out of a tunnel, and I would have Solo D stage right above the roof of the tunnel, and he's rapping and everything's going and everybody's getting into it and the players are running out from under him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do with Solo D. I think he's, royalty when it comes to Dolphin Nation. And what he's been doing for the Dolphin Nation for years, and I think he would be perfect for all of that. But that's just me. NFL penalize unnecessary roughness. Derek says, and thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Can we get the likes up for O, please? It's one of those things, Derek. It's kind of weird, man. I don't know. People watch, but they just, it's an effort for them to hit the like button. And it's funny, man. And it's not just me. It's everybody that you watch. A lot of people, they just don't hit the like button. Personally, for myself, when I watch somebody I like on YouTube, I always hit the like button. I always hit the like button. Love doing that, man. So, yeah, we got 188 likes, and there's over 500 people watching right now. It would be nice. It would be nice if we get over the 500 mark. If everybody hits right now, we're going to go over 500. That would be pretty cool because that gets it out to more of the Dolphin Nation out there. So when they're searching. In fact, yesterday I ran into a guy, walk-ons. It was like, dude, I ran into you on YouTube. I lost you for a couple years because you left QAM. I didn't know where you were, and I was watching some of my shows. I think he said fishing or something, some kind of show that he watches on YouTube, and we came up. And do you know why that happens? Because you hit the like button. The like button sends it out, the algorithm, and it puts it out more on the search engines. You have no idea what you're doing when you hit that like button. You really help us out. Visiting our sponsors are crucial. Subscribing is crucial. Hitting that like button, super, super important, man. So if you can, we really appreciate it. And thank you, Derek, for looking out, man. Appreciate you. Big O, I say the same thing. Solo D should be a staple in the stadium. Solo D is so humble and drops and a dope musician. He's been supporting me in doing my comedy as well. He's a good dude, bro. And he's a great Dolphin fan. And he's freaking talented. That's the thing about Solo D. He's talented. It's not like some dude that doesn't know how to rap or anything. They do a phenomenal job with the video, with the audio, with the music, everything. It's a shame, but I would love to see Solo D in that stadium. I think it would make all the sense in the world. Did you ever meet Solo D? Yeah, I've met Solo D. I've had him on the show, but you know what? I should get him and I should get Roger. I should get them on more often. You're right. So, what else do we have here? Like button is the first thing I do. Appreciate you, Big O. Thank you, William Youngblood. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. I agree, Big O. CBS played a short part of Waddle, What the F, it by Solo D. Oh, they did? Nice. Solo D is great with Phinz fans. He's always trying to incorporate fans. Yeah, man. Couldn't be a rapper, still mess up the lyrics to Tua Waddle Hill, what a thrill. How do you mess that up? Tua Waddle Hill, what a thrill. You can't mess that up. That is a great line by Roger. Oh, my score prediction. Yes, I have not. Let's lock it down right now. Why don't we do that, Sean? Let's lock it down.
Time to lock it down. The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Services in South Florida from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, ALennyLocksmith.com locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Here's the Big O to tell you what needs to be locked down.
All right, we got the line now. Dolphins -3. The over and under is 49. The Browns are plus 155 on the money line. Dolphins are minus 180. I'm going Dolphins -3 in this game. I love the Dolphins in this game. I told you I think they're going to win, over 7 points, 7 to 10 points. I'm feeling cocky. I think they're going to shut down Chubb, and I don't expect Jabroni Brissett to necessarily have a big game, but I do expect the Miami Dolphins to light it up at Hard Rock Stadium today. They're going to put on a show. They're going to win 31-13. Okay? Browns will get a little Chubb touchdown and then a couple field goals, and then it's over. Miami routs them. They move on to 7-3. We enjoy the bye week. It's a well-deserved bye week. It comes, I think, at a perfect time because you're playing well and you need to rest up and get ready. And you got Houston to start it off when you come back. Another very winnable game. I'm going Dolphins -3 in this one. 31-13. Big ass win, and they control Chubb. There you go. That is our lockdown segment.
The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming. All model cars. 24-hour service. Call them anywhere in South Florida at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at ALennyLocksmith.com where we lock it down.
By the way, I didn't get my $3,000 from my man here. Why didn't you send me the $3,000? Come on, bro. I was helping. I'm checking my Cash app here. Cash Big O Show. I thought you were going to send me the $3,000 in Bitcoin so I can stay on. Eric Echevarria, thank you for the love in the super chat. He says, side note, Big O, thinking about buying land in Northport. I'm from New Jersey. Your thoughts on that area? And yes, I'll get EJD to build the house. I don't know too much about Northport, my brother. I know it's a nice area. I've heard good stuff, about actually that part of our state. So yeah, listen, man, you're like a lot of people. You're moving down to Florida, so I don't blame you. This is why when we have a real estate, not a crash, but I think we're going to have a little bit of it's already starting, but it's going to go down a little bit more. The real estate market is going to suffer a little bit, I think, going into next year. I don't think Florida will be suffering nearly as much because of all the businesses and human beings that moved here. They were tired of what was going on in their state. And Northport is a pretty cool place. So, yeah. And EJD will build that house for you if that's what you want him to do. They full contractor. They can build an entire house. They do it all. But yeah, cool stuff. If you get EJD to build your house, here's the deal I have for you, Eric. Are you ready? If you get EJD to build that house, I will do a show at your house. Okay? Anybody in South Florida. All right, you do a show. You build your house by EJD. You get some large construction going, a second floor, a whole. I'll go do a show at your house. How about that? You like that? Let's do that. All right, you guys do a big job with EJD. I'll go do a show at your house. All right, nice and simple, not a problem. We'll hang out. We'll have some fun. I'll do the show. You guys get to see how we do the show, and we'll rock and roll. Okay, so there you go. Call EJD Construction. How about that? That'll be a fun thing. You guys redo your roof. I'll go do a show. You guys add a second floor. I'll go do a show. You add a room. I'll go do a show. You build a house. I'll go do a show. Okay, how about that? How do you like them apples? EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. And by the way, Eric is a monster freaking Dolphin fan. He was in Chicago last week with his son. He's never been to Chicago. He loved it, by the way. He thought the city was really cool. I was just happy he didn't get shot. Let's see, what else do we have? Best lines by Solo D. We lit that flame in Chicago. Smokey the Bear. Brissett getting smoked like some brisket. Yeah. Jabroni Brisket gets me every time. Well, that's our nickname for him because he is a jabroni. Let's all do a GoFundMe so Big O can do a life reaction. A life reaction. Big O, video watchers hit the like button about 1/3 of the time. Some people just don't appreciate the work and entertainment you guys provide. Today's culture. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I get it. We got the likes up to 300 now. 299. Not bad. Eric Echevarria says, I'm going to hold you to that. Oh, I promise you I'll do it. I promise any of you. You call EJD Construction and you do some major construction with them, okay? They're not a handyman anyway. They're not there to go fix your door or anything like that. They don't do that kind of shit. They do big work. You had, unfortunately, God, I hope none of you have a fire. But if you have a fire and he had to remediate everything, gut everything, and redo it, I'll go do the show. Okay? Promise you. Guaranteed. So you don't have to even hold me to that, Eric. Because Eric, you will call Eric at EJD, and then Eric will tell me that, hey, Eric, I built this house. You got to go do the show. I'm there. Not a problem. Remember, I need an Ethernet line. That's the only thing I require to be at your house to do a show. Okay, I need a hard line to connect. Outside of that, we're good. We're kosher. We're set. All right, it is 1 o'clock. It's game time. We will see you when the clock ticks 0, and we'll talk about Tua and that amazing performance as they kick the Browns' ass and improve to 7-3. Thanks to Sean Stanley, Lee Sterling, and Chris Perkins. We will see you in the postgame show with Cameron Wolf, and Marcel Louis-Jacques will join us straight from the locker rooms. You have watched the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show. We'll see you in the postgame.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDconstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.